Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review of The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 6, Kin. In this episode, Ellie and Joel find a new place, but cannot stay for long as their relationship is strained. This episode is directed by Jasmila Zbanek, written by Neil Druckmann and Craig Mason, starring Pedro Pascal as Joe Miller, Bella Ramsey as Ellie Williams, and then we also have Gabriel Luna reprising the role of Tommy Miller and introducing Rutina Wesley as Maria. So this will be pretty much spoiler free, really. If I do get into spoilers, I'll give you a bit of a warning. Um, but yeah, this was, I would say this is probably the most quiet episode, the most calm episode on a surface level. But I think the show does a great job of revealing some layers of internal conflict within our characters. So this was really a personal growth episode, I feel, where a lot of the episodes were really propelling the plot forward and moving our characters along, which this one does a bit of that as well. Um, this one really focused on expanding the lore of the characters, right? In the game, you would normally fight through a lot of this stuff, and you'd have interactions with clickers and stuff like that, or even just other obstacles. But in a TV show, the creators are taking any time you would spend doing that and really just opening the world, expanding the world, including new lore, and just diving deeper into our characters, which is what I think make this adaptation very successful. The first thing I want to talk about in this review is the and something that I haven't really dove deep into, but I think it was really important for this episode. The set design, like just the design of the production, has been just outstanding, and I think it has reached its peak here as we're entering the winter season, or at least a part of the country where winter looks a lot different than the previous places we've been to. We've also have a passage of time, which this winter season really signifies and really helps illustrate. And then just overall, as our characters go through these places that they visit, everything just really feels like a world that's been lived in, or I guess more specifically, not lived in for about 20 years, um, which is really outstanding. There's a lot of outside shots in this one, where I think some of the other episodes have kind of focused on smaller sets. This one to me feels almost as if, I don't think the during the end of the episode, I don't think they actually built like a full town or anything like that. If you saw the previews, but I think that they definitely did a lot. So we have some excellent acting in this episode. Pedro Pascal and the returning Gabriel Luna, like they just have such great chemistry on the screen. But I was also very surprised to see the chemistry between Bella Ramsey and other characters, including Gabriel Luna's character of Tommy. Um, I think it's just a credit to all their performances that these characters, they are so well written, so well rounded, that it really clicks when they're interacting with each other. Like you can really tell, it really feels genuine. So that's really really interesting. And also, speaking of chemistry, we also dive even deeper into the characters of Ellie and Joel, which well, we'll talk more about towards the end for the preview. But yeah, they're they over these past few weeks, months, their relationship has been building and strengthening, and they have learned and gone through so much stuff, learned about each other, gone through so much stuff together, that it is definitely something that we would expect that they would become closer and some of their barriers would come down. But even then, there's still so much they don't know about each other. There's so much, specifically on Joel's side, there's so much that he's keeping to himself inwards to really protect himself from the hurt. But that all that bottling of emotions, it's really starting to cause tension and problems between, within himself, but also with other characters, including Ellie and Tommy. So really really cool. I think Rutina Wesley as Maria, Um, just a really great addition to this episode. And there's a lot more that we see here that I just really enjoyed. Like I said, this one, because it was such a quiet episode, like it had some moments of tension, but overall I feel like this one was the most chill episode we've had so far, up until we get closer to the end, because of the type of show that we're watching. Like, as a viewer, I know that something's coming, right? And we're getting, I look at the timer and we're like 35 minutes in or 40 minutes in, and I'm just waiting for like another shoe to drop. And we have all these, like, all this, just everything kind of building up a crescendo. And then, we have little dips and dips, but then I'm waiting for the big drop for the episode. And we definitely have one. It is really intense. It's something that we're going to be left hanging. So it was just, it's just so well done, the way that they really learned how to pace this as an episodic TV show. This really is an episodic TV show, although it is building on a larger story. Each one of these episodes has its own little arc, which is really outstanding. Um, let's get a little bit, and it'll be brief, spoilers. There's really not a lot to talk about as far as spoilers, but I think one of the big things was, and so spoilers ahead if you haven't seen the episode. Um, I think one of the things that really stands out is the fact that Joel really has never talked to Ellie about his daughter, and Ellie now finds kind of third, via third person, that he, he what happened, a little bit more about what happened to his daughter. Also, the fact that all that stuff that Joel keeps bottled in is actually affecting him, mentally and physically. Uh, like, it almost feels like a panic attack. I really love the scene between Gabriel Luna and Joel. Like, when Joel finally opened up, Pedro Pascal was just delivering a great performance there, where he finally opens up and tells his brother. And then we can see here also, in just the way that the characters are portrayed, Gabriel Luna looks like no time has gone by for him in the past 20 years. I think he looks great, whereas I think we can tell that Joel, portrayed by Pedro Pascal, has gone through so much in the past 20 years that it's really taken a toll on him. So that's just a really fun way. And although we know that, Tommy was younger than Joel, I don't think he was that much younger, that whereas we would see such a large difference. Also, as I mentioned, Regina Wesley is Maria Miller, Tommy's now wife. Tommy's built a life for himself, and that's all. Like, the whole town of Jackson was kind of beautiful to just explore, and maybe even bring hope to this world where we think that things have just gone astray. Like, they have found a way to survive and kind of rebuild and bring back some of the best aspects of the world that we currently live in, or at least the world that they lived in 2003, um, including the movies. What a joy was for them, like, for us to experience a community finally being able to enjoy movies and some of the comforts of, like, the old world. It was really, really interesting. So yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. It looks like for the next episode, if you haven't seen the preview for next episode, looks like we're gonna flash back to Ellie. So they're gonna definitely leave us hanging a little bit with what happened with Joel at the end. Looks like the guy that, he broke that bat, but he was still able to stab him with it. That's, man, talk about a cliffhanger there, and we're gonna have to wait a couple of weeks for that to get resolved, I'm pretty sure. But I do look forward to seeing how Ellie became the character that we are following throughout this, and maybe even how she found out that she's immune, and this other individual. Anyways, we'll talk more about that next week. But what a great episode of television. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.